Hey friends, happy Friday. I'm excited to do an extra special science experiment for you today called a walking rainbow. Now, this one is extra special because it's not just science, but also art. So before we get into the experiment, I want to talk to you about something called the color wheel. So, have you ever wondered when you're coloring with markers why sometimes if you color with two colors together, it makes a different color? Well, the color wheel kind of explains that for us. The color wheel teaches us about primary and secondary colors. It also tells us how some colors can be mixed to make other colors. So the first thing that we need to talk about is primary colors. Primary colors are the three colors we use to make all the other colors. The three primary colors are red, blue, and yellow. On the color wheel, they look like this. So you can see yellow up here at the top, red, and blue. So now those are, like I said, called primary colors. Primary colors just stand alone. You don't mix any colors together to get them. They're something that we call pure colors. Now, secondary colors are the colors that result from mixing two primary colors. So the secondary colors are green, orange, and purple. And on the color wheel, they look like this. So you can see orange, purple, and green here. Now, of course, when we look at the actual color wheel, all of the colors are on there. That's because when you mix two of the primary colors together, you get one of the secondary colors. And here, it kind of looks like a math problem, an addition problem, which honestly, it kind of is, just without numbers. It's when you put two colors together. So if you can see here, the secondary colors on the color wheel are in between the two primary colors that mix together to make them. So we've got red plus yellow equals orange, yellow plus blue equals green, and blue plus red equals purple. So cool. So that's also why when you see a rainbow, it goes in the order that it does, because the primary colors mix together to make the secondary colors. Let you take one more look here at this poster before we get started on our experiment. All right, so like I said, today we're going to make something called a walking rainbow. And that is an experiment that is super easy, and it shows us how the primary colors mix together to make the secondary colors. So here we go. All right, friends, now we're ready to make our walking rainbow experiment. You just learned about primary and secondary colors, and now we are going to do a little bit of an experiment to show how primary colors mix to become secondary colors. All right, so as with any experiment, I need you to make sure that if you want to try it yourself, you ask a grown-up for help first. Now, none of this experiment contains anything that's very unsafe, but it does get a little bit messy sometimes, and you don't want to just use anything around the house without asking for permission. So first, let's get into what types of supplies you need for this experiment. So I have 6 plastic cups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I also have some strips of paper towel. I used 3 paper towels, I cut them in half, and then I cut a little bit off the ends too to make them a little shorter. Then we have some water, and then most importantly, we have food coloring. Now, our food coloring is in the 3 primary colors. Can you remember what the 3 primary colors are? Red, blue, and yellow. Great job. So we're going to start by putting our primary colors in 3 of our glasses. So let's start with red. You're going to start at the end, and let's do 8 drops of red. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. Now, and this is very important, you're going to you're going to count 2 cups over from the red cup. 1, 2. and that's where you're going to put your yellow. 8 drops of yellow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then you're going to count 2 cups over from yellow, and that's where you're going to put your blue. So 1, 2, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. All right, so now we've got our primary colors in our glasses. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to add some water to those cups. So you don't need a whole lot of water, but it's important that you make sure you only put water in the cups that you put food coloring. And be careful, because this is where it can start to get messy. All right, so now we know we have our 3 primary colors. Now we have to use what we know about secondary colors to make a guess. So in order for this experiment to work better, we're going to actually put the cups in a circle. So I know that I have them in a line here. That was mostly just so you could see them. Now we're going to put them in a circle, but you have to make sure they stay in the same order. So we have red, empty cup, yellow, empty cup, blue, empty cup. And I recommend that if you try this experiment, maybe put like a towel down or something. I didn't, but I'm just trying to be very careful. But it could get a little messy if you spilled one of these cups. Okay, so we have our circle of cups here. So the next thing we're going to do is take our strips of paper towel and fold them in half lengthwise. So we'll fold them like that. Once you fold them in half lengthwise, you're going to fold them over this way so that you have kind of a little point. Ta-da! Now, you're going to stick one end of this paper towel in the red and the other end in the empty cup. What do you think is going to happen when the yellow water and the red water mix together? All right, I'm going to move you up a little bit closer so you can see, because you can kind of see what's happening. But do you see how the water is starting to travel up the paper towel? Now, what do you think is going to happen when it starts to travel down this direction and mix with the yellow water that's traveling that direction? We can use what we know about primary and secondary colors to figure that out. Okay, so a lot of science experiments take a little while to finish. Like, for instance, there have been science experiments in class that we've had to leave for a couple of hours before we came back and saw what happened. This one doesn't take quite that long, but it does take a little while. So I'm going to shut the video off for a little bit and then come back to it to see what happens. So I will talk to you soon and we'll see what happens with our walking rainbow. Bye. All right, guys, so it's been about an hour since we left our walking rainbow experiment, and I want to show you what happened. So our water, oh, there we go. Our water started to creep over into the other cups, and it started to mix the colors together. All right, so now what I'm going to do, because I know it's kind of hard to look at it in a circle, especially because I keep moving the camera all around, all over the place. I'm going to very carefully take our paper towels out, probably get food coloring all over my fingers, but that's okay. Put them in my jar. And then I'm going to spread the cups out so you guys can see the different colors. I gotta be very careful because I don't want to get any, I don't want to mix any of the other colors together that we weren't trying to mix, but I also don't want to get any color on the table. Okay, so we are going to put them in the order that the colors in the rainbow go. So move these back. I'm going to show you. Now remember, when we first started, let me move our video back a little bit. When we first started, we had 3 cups with red, yellow, and blue, and then we had 3 empty cups. Let's see what colors we have now. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. Ta-da! We made a walking rainbow. And all we had to do was mix our 3 primary colors together to get our 3 secondary colors. So cool. I hope you guys enjoyed this experiment. It was pretty fun to put together and pretty easy. It just took a little bit of patience to wait for it to all come together. All right, so stay tuned for the next experiment, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.